What is up, everybody? It is, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock? I don't even know. And it is time for the Monster Maverick Show. So, welcome, everybody. This is the show all about Splinterlands, but not about the game. It's about the earn side of play to earn. It's time! That's right. Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Neil. If this is your first time tuning in, like I said, this is the show about Splinterlands, but it is about the earn side of play to earn. It's all about the numbers, the ecosystem, the macro environment, all that. Not about picking lineups and playing the game necessarily. And I'm your host, Neil. I've been, in Splinterlands since day one. Large asset holder, ex-Chaos team, Venari Syndicate team. If, blah, blah, blah. I'm heavily involved. Let's say that. And have been from the beginning. Although, in the first early days, I was just dipping my toe in the water. But Splinterlands is one of those things where, you take one step and then another step deeper and then another step deeper. So, now I'm all in, effectively. Let me go to the Twitter and just post a link. And let's see if anybody's on the Twitter. I don't know if any of my Twitter followers actually, pop in or not, or if everybody's already on the Discord. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. Monster Maverick Show is live. Splinterlands.tv/watch. Tweet. Blew it. Got moderated. I'll allow it though. He used the forbidden term mofo, but it's abbreviated. I think it's all right. So it is another week in the Splinterverse, and like most weeks, it's been eventful. So let's jump into it, shall we? Let's go to the. Oh, that logo is really nice. That's new. Let's go to the big change. So the big change this week is we just got the non-card market. This was released as part of the weekly maintenance window that was earlier today, and so now you can buy all these things inside the game instead of having to go to Hive Engine, which is there was some discussion on the Mavericks House Discord about is it really worth it? And because you can buy these same things, although you can't buy all the things. So like the titles you couldn't buy before. The Untamed, the Watcher, the Grandmaster, whatever. Those were not for sale. Prior, but the packs, the totems, the what else we got? The land types, those were all available on Hive Engine. However, that's where I get all my ecosystem numbers from is those values on Hive Engine. But now we can buy them inside the game for DEC and priced in US dollars, which is a big change. It's I think people are overestimating the technical ability of the general audience. Taking your DEC, moving it over to Hive Engine, swapping that DEC for swap.hive, and then purchasing other things with that swap.hive on the bid-ask market. That's a lot of steps, and then you got to move it back and not screw it up, which that's a lot of steps. So now, for people who are not so technically inclined, they can just go in, they can use their DEC balance and buy these things. That's way easier. And like Rickson is saying here, arbitrage. So now there are two markets for a lot of these things like alpha packs and whatnot. And where there are two markets, there are arbitrage opportunities where you can buy on one, sell on the other, and take advantage of differences in pricing. And that arbitrage trading is what keeps the different markets kind of moving in tandem. So right now, as it's released, we have like alpha packs. Let's say they're going for $190 on, and one for sale. You can pay $190 or $500, and you can go on Hive Engine, and you can buy those same packs for $66. So if we pretend for a moment that there were actually people, sufficient people buying these alpha packs on Hive Engine for $190, you would be able to go to Hive Engine and purchase these for $66, move them into the game, and then sell them here for 190, and you could capture that profit. And that brings down the price on the non-card market and brings up the price on Hive Engine, and eventually those two things meet and the arbitrage profits disappear. So Dragon's in the house. Good to see you too. So for the savvy, there's going to be opportunities there. Jarvie was in the chat earlier talking about how Peak Monsters has tools and bids and other things built for Peak Monsters to interface with the non-card market, but they have not gotten API access yet. So that is pending until they do, and then once they do, they'll be able to throw up the whatever their new tools are. So bids are important. That's half the market. You have a bid and you have an ask. So right now we just have asking prices, and obviously nobody's bought this $190 pack yet, but maybe someday soon. So this went live about 2.5 hours ago, and so far we've got $2,300 worth of volume. That's not too shabby. So what's different about the non-card market versus selling on Hive Engine is that anybody who's selling here inside the non-card market is going to pay a 5% market fee, and I assume that goes towards Splinterlands, or when Peak Monsters or Splex or whoever has their third-party interface will go towards them. That's an interesting sync for DEC, and we're going to talk a lot about DEC over the course of the next hour. But because DEC that goes to Splinterlands, for whatever, the part that's not burned, we can. It's not burned, but we can kind of half consider it retired, because it goes into their coffers, and some of it comes out, but not all of it, and so we can expect to say that it's partially retired from the circulation and the circulating supply. So that's all to the good. So the more of these that we have, the better. In fact, let's look at Chaos Legion packs, because this price is fairly in line. So we've got Andre Mitt selling for $1.92. There's 183 of them. And then if I go to Hive Engine, I can go say to, it's called Chaos. Holiday deals post just went out. Oh no. All right. So this is $1.86. So slightly cheaper, but we can already see that the markets have pretty much converged on those two things. So breaking news. We got a new post. Yeb is usually good about giving me a heads up on these, but I guess not today. Oh, it's Aggie, that's why. End of year sale details are hereby announced. Let's take a look. I can't believe you dropped this on me during the show. How dare you? All right. My witness votes are expiring. All right. Chaos Legion and Tower Defense Holiday Deals 2022. Need to find a minnow pool now. All right. The holidays are here, and Grum has a brand new bag of deals for Chaos Legion and Tower Defense. Whether you're new to the community or a long-standing member, Splinterlands is offering bonuses in the form of free potions, extra bonus card packs, new promo cards with every pack, in some cases free Roonies. We're talking about Roonies in a bit. Onboarding, training, and deck deployment configuration services from Nifty Arcade. That's interesting. We'll also share a discount code for crypto tax software, compliments of our friend at Zen Ledger. And bulk purchase promo details can be found further below. To purchase, simply follow instructions on this form. So let's look at the form first, just to kind of get an idea here. When is Tower Defense going to be playable? Great question. My guess is summer. I don't really know. Okay, so they're taking fiat. They're taking various crypto. Bulk packages will be available until December 21st, so about 3 weeks. You must have a Hive wallet address for us to send packs. If you need help, blah blah blah. Okay. Do. Very good. All right. So that's going to be fairly straightforward. All right, communities and guilds. We want to encourage new communities and new guilds to enter the Splinterlands ecosystem, as well as continue to support those already in our community. We are planning to add some exciting updates to the guild system within Splinterlands to engender more team participation and more opportunities to display your community and or guild logo. We expect to continue to upgrade the experience for other communities in the Splinterlands ecosystem with future improvements to guilds and tournaments. Stay tuned for more details to come. You can really tell that there's different authors of these things. Leveled up guild halls are currently only offered for Splinterlands and not tower defense, but future upgrades for tower defense are certainly possible. So Nifty Arcade is you use their platform, so that Nifty Arcade. It seems like I haven't tested it yet, but seems like it's going to be a good solution for people who want to hold central repositories of cards and things and be able to delegate to their guildmates, very easily and quickly. Chaos Legion bulk package promo. So we got 4 levels: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and the number of packs varies. 40% extra packs with vouchers. Okay, 40% is good, because normally if you go to the shop, it's I think it's a 20% bonus, right? Go to the shop. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see how long. Every time I'm streaming, my internet is just so slow. I guess all the video takes up my bandwidth. Okay, so if I do the big bulk. Yeah, so the normal bonus is 20%, so they're offering double that, which is good. Cimarron is saying, so again, they run a promo and offer the promo Aggie's been talking about and make it so the average player can't afford it. Well, let's see. Certainly the bulk purchases are going to be beyond a lot of people's budgets, as a individual. But there's teamwork to be had. All right, so you can. So on each of these, we get 40% extra, so that's flat. Extra Chaos Legion, so there's extra if you do the gold or the diamond. Vouchers required is a bunch. That's going to match the bonus packs, the 40% extra. Interestingly, the extra Chaos Legion packs you do not have to have vouchers for, because it's just matching the 40% amount. Free Roonies while supplies last. That's good. Promo card 1 per pack, and you get the total of Chaos Legion pack plus the extra vouchers plus the extra. So you get 1 promo card with each of those. So that's a lot of promo cards. I wonder if we have any details on the promo card. So total spent for the bronze is 10 grand or 10 million DEC, 25,000 for silver, 50,000 for gold, and 100,000 for diamond, or equivalent amounts of official rate DEC. So basically 60% discount or 40% discount, if you buy in DEC terms. And then additional, okay, so for community stuff, you get a free level 10 guild hall, Nifty Arcade support, and Splinterlands Academy with Nifty Arcade, community pack opening event. Okay, branded tournament. It's interesting. So, okay. Those are pretty good deals. I'm very curious about this promo card. Let's see if we have any details about that. Tower defense bulk promo package. Similar kinds of things. 2,500 for bronze, which is 12.5 in dollar cost. 25k for silver, 50 and 100 for gold and diamond. Vouchers required. Yes. Promo cards the same, so we're going to have another promo card. Note that tower defense packages also include the same promo cards found in the Chaos Legion packages. Interesting. So if you buy the tower defense bulk package, you get Splinterlands promo cards. So that's good to remember, and not thinking that it's a tower defense promo. Also, keep in mind when you buy tower defense packs, you do get SPS, daily as part of your rewards. Team is hustling for cash. That does seem for sure. And XFAX says we need details on the promo card ASAP. Do we not have? We don't have details on the promo card. That's frustrating. Custom branded spell cards for tower defense are a new offering, available only with the purchase of bulk packages. This customizability will be added to an existing epic rarity spell card, with the customization being that the community or guild can add their logo to the card. We simply need to JPEG the brand/logo you want to use and reserve the right to reject distasteful content. Each custom spell card created for this bulk purchase promotion will be a gold foil version. They will start at level 1, but can be leveled up by combining other spell cards with it. The spell cards used to combine can be any rarity, any foil. Example, Community Guild pays $25,000 and 5,000 vouchers for a silver package. In exchange, they receive 5,750 tower defense packs with potions for all cards and 5,750 promo cards. Additionally, they receive 24 custom brand spell cards and 20% discount on Zen Ledger tax software. Dragon says, I would lose faith in any company that stopped hustling. That's a good way to look at it. And group buys, we are pleased to offer purchase pooling again with this set of holiday deals, as we did during Splinterfest. Multiple parties pool their resources to make a single bulk purchase. We will distribute the resulting assets to up to 5 Hive wallet addresses. Details on how this work can be found here. Yeah, so that's helpful. So if you want to pool with 5 of your buddies or 4 of your buddies, then you can each get your individual assignments. But if the pool is larger than that, you're probably going to want to condense it into one, and then I guess it depends on the what you call it, on the trust factor. So what we did with X Chaos was a similar kind of thing where we had this X Chaos token, people bought it on Hive Engine, and then we used those funds to do a bulk purchase when Chaos Legion launched for general sale, and then we distributed all the packs to everybody. And then the airdrops that we get, we sell off and distribute the DEC daily, which we're still doing. We're waiting for the next airdrop because we're all sold out right now. But we do like 1/30 of the balance every day, so it spreads out everything more evenly. So yeah, we might do something for this. We have until the 21st. So I will get with Gerber, see if he's awake, and if he's willing to work. Gerber's great, and then he's almost too rich to do anything though. So the great thing about having it tokenized like we did with X Chaos was that there's we can very easily see who gets what, and then it creates a secondary asset, which there's not much trading on, but there's some. With this, there probably wouldn't be any legacy market because, actually, that's not true. I doubt we'll get the promo card right away. They'll probably sell the promo card and then deliver it sometime in January or something. So there will be a need for that tracking with the tokenization. But very interesting. Very interesting. So, obviously the move is, use any funds that you have that you want to put into this, whether you're doing it yourself or with a pool. You want to do it through DEC because DEC gets you 40% off right now. Or I don't know what's the rate. We're at 35% off because we're at 650 Splintoshis. So very interesting. So I'll put a poll question up. I don't know how to do polls. I don't know anything about Twitch. It's very sad. If we did a group buy where you could buy as much or as little as you wanted, would you want to do the Chaos Legion bulk or would you want to do the tower defense? So just put in chat if you'd want to do Chaos Legion or tower defense. Dragon says tower defense. IV for NOV. Chaos Legion. Rickson says Chaos Legion for me for sure. My guess is there'd be more demand for Chaos Legion. Got a couple Chaos Legion. Yeah. So it's interesting. So with tower defense, it's always important to remember the SBS payouts. But yeah, I can understand why Chaos Legion would be more attractive. Yeah, I should rather buy Belle Delphine's bathwater. Yeah, good luck with that. I saw a hilarious video one time of an Australian who ordered this and was gonna and drank it, on his YouTube, and then his buddies told him that it was just their their friend took a bath and bottled that instead. Pulling up to 100K is clearly the best idea, but hard in practice, maybe. That is for sure. Yeah, so Diamond's going to be your best deal because of these 3,000 extras. Although, isn't that the same rate? Just double the amount? Let's see, 12.5, 25, that's double. 5 to 10, that's double. 15 to 3,000, that's double. 5 to 10, that's double. 5. Oh, you do get slightly more Roonies. So a slightly better deal in Diamond with the Roonies than with the Gold. And the promo cards are the same, 19 to 38. So you're getting 2 extra Roonies. That's I don't know if that's worth the extra 50 grand, but yeah. So very, very interesting. My mind is spinning. I wish I'd seen this before the show started. Skipping my alpha. Oh, Samsonite says just posted by Aggie and Mavchat. I need to clarify, but anyone that buys a pack gets a promo card. Well, yeah, that's what's in the chart here. Promo card, 1 per pack, right there. Very, very interesting. So let's talk about Rudy's for a second. Let's go to the sheet here, because as I want to do, I do my my ecosystem update every week, and this week was up slightly, which was nice to see. We're up 1.47 million, and this was earlier today, so numbers change a little bit. So about 1.5 million, 1% up, and Rooney's market cap went up by 58%. So we had the end of the mint, which was on Friday. So no more Roonies are being minted. We ended up with a count of 3,521. Warren's asking, does that mean if I buy 1 pack in store, then I get a promo card? I don't think it means that, but definitely check. Also, to be clear, you can get the promo card by buying packs between today and December 21st. For each pack you buy. Okay, so the promo card is outside of the deal. So you get that if you buy in shop, or you get that if you buy in bulk. Good to know. So we're at 35.21 Rooney, and that's going to remain constant because the mint is over. So that's our ending supply of Rooney, and but the floor value on that went up a lot, went up by 41%. And ETH didn't change that much, so mostly it was the floor going from 0.22 ETH to 0.26 ETH, and that's where it is right now. So very interesting stuff. Yeah, so that was a bright spot. Let's see, what else was a nice. Somebody bought up some common totems. That went up by 51%. Somebody bought a tract. That went up by 24%. Alpha market cap is up. Beta market cap is up. Untamed market cap is up. All the rest are, fairly flat. So yeah, overall, 1% gain. Nightmare, Rift, or the tower defense packs are up 15%. Rift Watchers are down. Licenses are up. But that's basically, was the last sale a bid, hitting the bid, or was it hitting the ask? Just because that's the spread on the market there. Overall, pretty decent. Little rise there. It seems the promo card is either common or rare, and 1 pack, 1 promo card, 1 BCX, so either 400 or 115 for max. Yeah, I mean, people have been talking about common promos, so with so many promos being minted here, 1 per pack, my guess is that it's common. And it'll be that'll be good use. Now, ideally, we wanted a promo card. I mean, ideally for my purposes, I wanted a promo card individually for sale for DEC that would then be burned, because like we've been talking about for a while, the single most important thing that can help the values of everything in the ecosystem that we can do as communities to get the DEC price back up to par and to get the SPS flywheel running. We're buying and burning SPS in order to mint DEC to use, but we have to chew through the overhead, right? Because there's however many billions of DEC. It's 6 something. DEC is 6 let's call it 6.3 billion. Although, that's actually down week over week by 27 million. So, we're starting to decline. A 0.5% decline over the last week in DEC supply. That's lots of overhead from the last year. Yeah, lots of overhead. So if we look at peak monsters, they have their Explorer. Oh, Explorer is behind again. Let's see. Let's do top holders. Let's get that flywheel spinning. So, yeah, SL Hive. I mean, a lot of these top ones are Splinterlands, held. In fact, I would say all of those top 6 accounts are, well, actually top, top 10 accounts are all held in some form or fashion by Splinterlands. Some of those are escrows, for bridge accounts and that kind of thing. Some are held by Splinterlands itself. Some are, I don't know what. Like we have SL-Cold. Is that a cold wallet? Probably. So a large chunk of that 6 billion supply is quasi locked up inside of Splinterlands in some form or fashion. So I've talked with Agrid about it, and he said in the 3 billion-ish range is that Splinterlands holds. I don't know what the breakdown of that 3 billion is as far as how much is held for Binance Smart Chain accounts and how much is held for Hive Engine accounts and that kind of stuff. But a good chunk. So we don't need to eat through the full 6 billion in order to get the flywheel started. But 1 or 2 billion probably. So let's pretend for a second that everything is purchased in let's call it the diamond. And we go through 100 million DEC at a pop. If they sell 10 of those, then that's a billion DEC. That'll move the market quite significantly. So yeah, that's very interesting. Let's see. You said number 11 is as well. Token converter. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it sounds official. So yeah, that is interesting. And interestingly, I wrote a post, I guess yesterday, about the flywheel. Because I was thinking about this bonding DEC idea, where essentially we're prepaying for upgrades in DEC. So some of that gets covered by these guild upgrades and things like that. Also free potions. So if the choice is between, if you're going to pay for upgrades anyways, so like if you have a lot of land or if you have guilds that you want to upgrade, those are all things that are going to be burning DEC and just removing them from existence. So if you're going to do that anyways, then you're better off bonding the DEC at a discount today versus buying and holding. And there's 2 reasons for that. One is that it removes that DEC from supply entirely, so you can't change your mind later and then sell it and then put it back into the market, which would then impede the approach of the par value. And also, if you get a discount for bonding DEC, then that'll be extra compared to just riding it from 650 Splintoshis up to 1,000. And then Yabba chimed in way down here in the comments, which with some interesting stuff. So he says, the real question in my mind is how much actual demand there would be for the DEC bonds concept. Everyone already knows that a ton of DEC will be required for things in the future. That's a hint. And if they buy now, they can get it at 62 cents on the dollar, but hardly anyone is taking that deal. Right. Hardly anyone is taking that deal. That's critical because that's the reflection of the market at the current point in time. DEC bonds would just be giving a larger discount, but with the downside of locking up the DEC, as you mentioned. So if hardly anyone is taking the deal at 62 cents on the dollar, then if we offer them 50 cents on the dollar, which is roughly, so I, in the post I had an example, with 20% discount basically. Would that really cause any significant amount of buying, enough to make it worth the development effort and selling the bonds, and then including them as payment options for everything that uses DEC in the future? This is what I'm not really sure about. Also, the alternative is to just be patient and wait for the new DEC syncs to be released over the next 6 months. So I guess we just saw one of those. At the moment, I'm leaning towards just being patient over creating additional ongoing development for something that I'm not certain will have that big of an impact. And my response, and this is some bitter or something, fundamentally, all markets have a clearing price. So, that's what is it 50 cents on the dollar? Is it 40 cents on the dollar? There is some price at which point people will jump in and, buy DEC in order to lock up and prepay. I don't know what that price is. Maybe it's 50 cents, maybe it's 40 cents, maybe it's 30 cents. That's up to the market to decide. But at some level, at some discount level, people will lock up the DEC. And of course, I don't know how the cost of doing this development, to an outsider, it seems fairly straightforward, but obviously nothing is ever straightforward. I don't know how that cost creates an opportunity cost for what else could those developers be doing. Will that get us to our destination faster of getting the SPS flywheel running and pumping all market demand through the SPS burning mechanism? But I can say for myself, though, I'd be locking up 100,000 DEC a day. But now, we have this. And what was it yesterday? Agro put out a post about how they have a general sales approach where if you're buying in bulk, then you're going to get a discount, and this is the end of year discount that they were hinting at. Birds, Bees, and Trees says, "How am I? I'm okay. How does one exit from Floaterlands into real dollars? Sell cards into what? Well, you sell cards for DEC, and then you convert that DEC into some other cryptocurrency, and then you take that cryptocurrency through your preferred centralized exchange for fiat, or you sell your crypto, peer to peer on local Bitcoin or whatever." So yeah, that's how you do it. What price you get varies. So for myself, I like to sometimes look at my account numbers, although it's down significantly over the last year, but it's still a large number. I like to look at that number and I say, wow, that's a lot of money, but it's not actually sellable. So, a lot of my stuff is alphas and alpha gold foils, and that's where I would recommend FTX. I do not recommend FTX. A lot of my stuff is alpha gold foils. So I've got a max level gold foil Selenia Sky, and I mean, maybe there's a buyer out there, but I don't think it's going to be easy to sell at any point. So I use those cards that have a lot of value, but they don't rent well because they're so expensive. The great hope is in lands and providing additional utility there, but they're just very illiquid, and so that's part of the price I have to pay for having that value locked in there. The modern cards, those are plenty liquid. I mean, you can sell, you could sell any Chaos Legion, any Untamed. Untamed is a little bit slower, to move, but Chaos Legion for sure, you could sell that, rapidly and redeem that for, the crypto of your choice, and then change that into fiat currency. Am I using Splex for rentals? Yes, I am. I'm using Splex for rentals. They have the, what I consider to be the best interface at the moment, and there are some things that I would definitely change about it, but is what it is. But all the automated rental, because there's 3 of them now. I mean, there's Dragon Tools, there's Splex, and there's another one that's kind of Discord based. Peak Monsters is getting into the game, but I have not messed around with the Peak Monsters stuff yet. They seem to be more of a help you manage in bulk rather than so much automated management. But don't quote me on that, because the brief glance I gave it was okay, there's a price spread on rentals for this particular card, and I want to stay at the upper 2/3, and it'll kind of follow the market that way. Splex is a little different compared to that because they will actively price out different things at different prices to figure out where the market is. So it's slightly different approaches. The Splex approach burns a lot of RCs, which is not ideal compared to some of the other ones, but I think you get slightly better pricing for that. And when you're iterating that over a lot of cards, I think it ends up being worth it. But I'm in discussions with Gene Pool and well, mostly Gene Pool. A lot. So and he's been very active with the GLX thing, and maybe we'll talk about GLX in a little bit if we have time. It's pretty attractive. Can I link that article? The sale article is here. If that's what you mean. If you mean the bonding article, that's here. And also, I put another post the other day. Just I was actually using Splex, and I've got so many cards. It's a lot of management work. So I have all these singles from Chaos Legion, and the market is evolving though. So I'm having to the best rents were at the single BCX level, but now a lot of those cards are changing where the best rents, the optimal rents, are being like level 2s and sometimes level 6s and sometimes level 8s, mostly level 2s. So the update that we got where your R shares get reduced if you're using under-leveled cards is starting to impact the market, and we're seeing that as the farms are renting out level 2s instead of level 1s, or level 3s even in some cases. So it takes a lot of work to move 10,000 cards and then combine them, and then figure out which cards need to be combined to level 2 and which need to be combined to whatever. And so I'm doing this on Sunday, and meantime I'm watching these YouTube videos. Like there's this Real Civil Engineer guy who's pretty funny, and he plays these games, and they're all like city building type stuff, and he's talking about them from an engineering perspective, but with pretty lighthearted. and I'm watching that, and like as I'm watching it, I'm like, hey, I should play games. That'd be more fun. And then I realize that I'm actually playing the metagame of Splinterlands in the resource allocation and management, and it just doesn't look like it because I'm in like spreadsheets and stuff. Ivan says tested peak monsters, and for my deck revenue was almost the same versus Splex. Fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely not like the be all end all for sure, but for me, I like it the best so far. Definitely open to competition. So it's interesting. But now all I can think about is the sale. I'm thinking, can I get to the point where this makes sense? So 50 million BEC. So the part of the problem that I see immediately as somebody who's done pools before is that these are not evenly divisible things. Because if you have like a 1-to-1 relationship, then the you get 12,500th, but then you get fractional shares of this other stuff for the 40% extra. So you'd have to pool it with the expectation that you're going to get the total and split that. So we'd look at instead of a 12,500th share, you get a 19,000th share, and then somebody's got to kick in 5,000 vouchers. So it gets complicated, and liquidity on vouchers is not good. If we go to pools, this was earlier today. I was swapping SPS for GLX. Let's see, voucher liquidity. So we got 273,000 in the main swap hive voucher. We got 20,000 in voucher SPS. So let's call it 300,000. 5,000 vouchers is. Let me change this to light mode, so we can actually read the thing. So there's 1 million vouchers in there. So 5,000 is 0.5%. It doesn't take too many of those to start pushing the price up quite a bit. So it's interesting. 20,000 vouchers, or no, sorry, 40,000 vouchers are issued a day, and so there's only potentially 8 of those per day, and that's at gold. So yeah. So here's a trading idea. You might want to front run some vouchers, because the whales who would be interested in this kind of things, like me, will be one, either buying vouchers or not selling them, because pretty much everybody's just selling them every day. There are some people who are kind of not paying attention, but or have a very long term view on the price of vouchers. But I could see these pushing, doubling over the next 3 weeks pretty easily. So that's something to think about. So right now they're at 13.2 cents, 13.23, and might be worth a swing. Interesting. So yeah, this will be bullish for DEC, and it'll be bullish for vouchers. Just the fact that these things exist, and you can figure that the drop dead date of December 21st, that'll put a time limit on the trade of maybe December 17th, something like that. More financial advice, please. Second mortgage the house. Yeah, for sure. And I was talking to somebody earlier, and they were asking me, it's like, well, if I bought like 50,000 packs or whatever, and maybe that person knew something that I don't. Maybe they knew about this. If I bought 50,000 packs, then how much rent could I get out of that? And I was saying, well, for Chaos Legion, obviously when you open a pack, you're going to get some good cards, that rent well, and some not so good cards that rent well. But average, probably 20-30%, something like that. And then if we get Lance deployment where that sucks up all the old cards, or a lot of them anyway, and a lot of even the modern cards, then cards will get relatively scarcer and rents should go up. So I would call 20% yield on rentals as a broad average for Chaos Legion as kind of a floor, because I don't see a whole lot of downside going forward, but I do see significant upside going forward. So that's super interesting. So now, am I going to buy? Am I going to buy another 19,000 packs? I don't know. Eggs got me with the FOMO already. So just to give you an idea, for X Chaos, we raised enough to do like 100,000 packs, something like that. So 100 million DEC is not out of the question by any means. Very, very interesting. It's tricky because everyone will pay in DC. That's why you got to get the DEC now while it's discounted. Because by the time this rolls around, it'll probably be significantly more expensive. In fact, let's see if DEC has gone up at all. Who's got a good chart? I know Splex does a good chart. You guys want to see my Splex account? Dun, dun, dun. Ba-da-ba. Oh, it doesn't actually show me. DC started today at 631. We're up to 657. All right, we got a little bump there. Oh, it doesn't zoom in. All right, let's look at the hourly on DEC. Hourly. Oh, a little bit of buying right there. Very interesting. But at Samson says been moving up all day. I had noticed that, but I didn't know there was anything behind it. I think somebody might have been given a clue earlier on. So it pays to follow some big wallets. Who's buying? Tradey Show, Detachment, HE Index. I know Convic is a bot. Cradle to Game. And this only goes back so far, but you could look through the trade logs and see if you could find anything interesting. That'd be a curious exercise. What's the difference between Tribal Decks and BSwap? Nothing. They're just different interfaces for the same thing. So there's Hive Engine, which is hive-engine.com. There's tribaldex.com. There's BSwap. There's leodex.io. These are all interfaces that give you different views on Hive Engine activity. So it's just whatever style that you like. Personally, I like BSwap for most things, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't do the bid-ask market. It only does pools for swapping. So if you want to do a bid-ask, like if you want to buy a license, there's no liquidity pool for those. Or what was that? There was no no liquidity pool or anything like that for licenses. So if you want to buy that on secondary, you have to go through Tribal Dex or Hive Engine or Leodex. Why do I use them both? Because it's for different things. So BSwap does not have charts. TribleDex does have charts. BSwap does not have a bid-ask market. TribleDex does. But for everything else, I pretty much use BSwap. So the vast majority of my trading I do in BSwap. And lately what I've been doing is just dollar cost averaging. My rental income, my voucher income, my SPS income. I've been dollar cost averaging that into GLX because the yields on it are so incredible right now. In fact, if you go to Splitter Cards, they have that nifty little calculator, staking calculator. Oh, we go. Come on. So if I stake 1,000 SPS and roughly 300, I forget what the exchange rate is right now, but let's call it that. So my SPS staking, I'm making 68%. On my GLX staking, I'm making 949%. Now, obviously, because of the distribution, the APR is going to decrease as the supply increases. But the downside on the token price, I think, is much lower on GLX than compared to SPS. So Rick on the Mountain says, "Howdy, I'm taking over for No Empathy again, so I'll be up next when you finish. BSwap doesn't have GLX currently." Well, GLX, there is a liquidity pool for GLX. So, right there, you can trade that. But there's only $33,000 worth of liquidity there. So it's only for small trades. So I've got 1.4 SPS in my wallet. I can swap that, and I can get 0.679 GLX. And you just do that, hit swap, and then you're good to go. But if you're for larger quantities, you have to use the bid-ask market because you'll move the market too much. So yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah. So the APR on GLX will go down, but like I said, the downside, in my opinion, is lower. So SPS, there's not a huge demand event yet until we get to the flywheel, and we have a ways to go before we get there. Rick says doing GLX to swap hive to SPS this whole time. You can still do it. Depends on the quantities. So yeah, I do. So like when I have my voucher income, I convert that to swap.hive because that has the most liquidity in that pool, and then I use the bid-ask market and swap.hive to get GLX. But my SPS income, I just do straight through the liquidity pool. But just because the relative numbers work out better that way. So when you're looking at SPS and when you're looking at GLX, they're both effectively the same kind of thing, right? Because SPS gives you governance power, and it gives you when the flywheel is engaged, it'll give you that market demand pressure. So that's the upside. The downside with SPS is that the flywheel is not engaged yet, and we have to chew through that, however many billions of DEC in order to get there, and then all the stuff will kick in. So between now and then, SPS could certainly fall because we're printing however many a month. So looking at my ecosystem number, we printed in the last week 5.3 million SPS. So figure that times 4.5. We're at well, let me just do the math. I hate giving inaccurate numbers. Equals that times 4.5. So 24 million SPS a month, roughly. Net of burns. Because people are still burning, even though it's ridiculous. So between now and SPS flywheel engaging, we could certainly see the price of SPS decrease. GLX, there is no overhang because it's the same system though, because we're gonna have to burn GLX in order to mint GLUSD, and you have to use that GLUSD to buy packs. There's no overhang, but it's also not here yet. So that functionality is in development and will be here in pre-sale packs will probably be here soon. Maybe a week or 2 or 3. But then actual functionality is going to be 6 months or whatever. So GLX could certainly not have its flywheel kick in until then. But once it does, 100% of the market demand is going to flow through GLX. There's like right now there's like 15 million GLX that's been produced so far, and that'll increase daily, as more is minted. But it's still relatively small numbers. I think the market cap on GLX is something like 1.5 million right now. So it's a micro cap coin, and if pack sales on Genesis League are successful to any degree, then a large chunk of value has to be pumped into GLX in order to mint the GLUSD in order to buy those packs. So it all hinges on whether the game is successful or not. But even a low level of success is going to pump up GLX quite a bit. So I think the upside on GLX is higher sooner than SPS. With that said, I have a lot of SPS staked. So, but I'm just dollar cost averaging my own SPS income right now from my nodes and my tower defense packs and all the rest of it, and every day moving it slowly into GLX. And Rick says half my GLX goes into SPS daily, but I only get 8 a day. Well, yeah, everybody has their own scales. I've got in my main account, I've got 1 million SPS staked, and my goal is to get 1 million GLX staked in Genesis League, just to have that equivalency. Just because I'm what's a nice word for OCD? I'm number oriented. I have that round number bias that I like. So for me, the near term upside, call it 6 months, is higher for GLX than for SPS. So I'm symmetry is pleasing. That's right. That's a strong goal. Yeah. So today I broke 70,000 GLX, and with my daily airdrops from my SPS stake plus the staking rewards, I'm expecting to end up around 800,000 with that, and so I need to buy into more in order to get myself up to the million. So the staking percentage went up way more than I thought it would. In fact, I'll even show you my sheet as I choke to death here. So I have a GLX sheet. All right, so this is my inflation sheet. So today is 11/29. So currently we have 2 pools that are active, and they're both producing about 274,000 GLX per day. And today's supply is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 15.5 million GLX. And then we have new pools coming online at some point. We have LP rewards that are going to come online. We have play to earn, which is going to go into the pack staking, before the game is available. We have validators. We have the DAO. So I had been guessing that LP rewards and the pack staking were going to come online 12/1. I don't think we're going to make 12/1. So, this inflation will be pushed off longer than I thought, which will give us more time earlier to reap a higher percentage of the inflation through staking. So that's good for me, So Birds and Bees is saying, why do we need vouchers? I'm missing a bunch of stuff here. Rick says, I just got 12K at staked SPS. I'm happily grinding it up every day. Good job. 5% up on the day so far. I'm assuming you mean for DEC. Why do we need vouchers? I mean, why would they go up to get discounts? Is there even a game? So the vouchers are for the bulk sale deal here, which I realize you can't see. So right there. So in order to get these extra packs, this 40% extra, you need the vouchers to match. So that demand is what might push vouchers up. To get discounts, is there even a game with GLX, or is it just NFTs? Well, there will be a game. There isn't one yet. Like Tower Defense. Yeah. Quick Rooney thoughts. Rooney is up, 0.04 ETH over the last week, which is nice. I think Rooney's going to be one of these things where, we look back in like 2-3 years and we say, wow, should have gotten more Roonies. But, but at the time, the value prop wasn't terribly strong. So, they didn't sell out, but we sold 3,500 of them, which is, roughly slightly more than half. And that's all to the good. The problem with that 2 to 3 year look back period is opportunity cost. What else could you have done with your funds in the meantime? You know, in order to do better than just holding on to Rooney's for a long time. So I perfectly understand why people did not rush to buy out, you know, all 6,500 Rooney's. But you know, a couple years in the future, I think it will be saying, wow, you know, they really did come through on the value prop of, you know, the whitelist and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. uh, so Birdsby says, I feel this is the only way to earn through arbitrage. I need to learn this. Playing the game is like, okay, but yeah. So you know, playing the game is great. But you know, I'm a numbers guy, so you know, I like the numbers aspect to the game. You know, one of the great things about Splinterlands is that it has such a complex ecosystem that you can play a whole bunch of games all in the same space. So like, you know, I'm playing, you know, the kind of the meta game of all the trading and the allocations. Other people spend a lot more time, you know, grinding for that champion leaderboard. And you know, like we see in Maverick's house, you know, Zowie has gotten like 3 giant jackpots in SPS just by playing, and you know, that works out if you get those. So so you know, there's all different kinds of ways to do it. You know, the bot farmers are playing their own game. You know, it's all a matter of what kind of game you want to play, and then as the game develops and you know, we get lands and everything, that's again a whole other game mode that you know, that we'll be able to play. And then we're getting tower defense, and there's a whole other game mode that we'll be able to play. Would love Rooney for birthday, but more important, trying to pay rent for 12. Yeah, pay the rent first, I would say. We'll be listing some more cards on stream today. Still not quitting, just gotta pay to live. Yes, there is that. Games within games, which was my post. Games within crypto. So we are about out of time. We got about 1 minute left. And I guess the thing I want to leave you with is bulk package promo. That's pretty interesting. There's a high likelihood I will have something, a pool of some sort built up for this over the next week. And I think we could do 50 million pretty easily. So something to think about. If you guys want to jump in, that may be available for you. Anyway, well, that's all for this week. Catch you guys later. Oh, and stay tuned for the next show. There's going to be live listings.